letters, they hit my door. Tiny aliens asking for more. Writing comments like a cosmic tour. I found stardust scattered on my floor.
Greetings everyone. It's a bit of a mixed thing here. It's a parcel opening and a parcel story of an exhibition that I went to some years ago. Now, and I know the exact date, and the exact date was the 5th of June 2017. And the reason why I know this is because I have the receipt here for this book that I bought, and the exhibition was called Star Wars Identities. This is the official book for that exhibition, and it was held at the O2 in London, and it was an exhibition of props, models, costumes, original artwork, sketches, and such like, and all of these were contained within this book. This is a boxed book, so you open the box up, the book is inside, and I kept the receipt because I wanted to remind myself that this book cost £40, but as a souvenir, had to be had. It came with a little wraparound strip for the sale of the book, which I also kept. But one of the things that appealed to me about this was that it came with a print of that Darth Vader artwork, and here you have the Death Star and all the other little spacecraft around the edge, and it was a Star Wars Identities, the exhibition exclusive with this book. Now, I will get to the postcards, just bear with me. I loved the exhibit. I loved the costumes, the artwork, all the bits and pieces. I took my grandson along, and my friend and his son came with us, and we it was obviously a buy in advance ticket event, and it was covered by a number of posters, and the posters were very imaginative. They took a character's face, and this face was made up of swirling, this one here, ships. On the Yoda one, it was grass and wild green effect. Each one being, and the clone trooper down the bottom, the storm trooper down the bottom there, is made up of lots of little storm troopers. But I originally wanted to buy some postcards, and I was aware that there had been postcards produced for this exhibit. Unfortunately, we went along quite late in the exhibition's run, and there was no postcards left. Now, I bought the book because I couldn't buy any postcards and I wanted a souvenir, and I'm not particularly that interested in mugs and t-shirts and other bits and pieces like that. I will buy things like that occasionally, but I prefer paper styled collectibles, and this print I liked, and the book, and I was happy to pay, to be fair, the £40 for it as my collectible for that particular exhibit. But unfortunately, no postcards for me because they'd sold out of them. Last week, when I was going through eBay, as I do quite a bit, I do like to search certain criteria. I do television, I do tigers, I do Southend-on-Sea, and I do Star Wars because it is my favourite film, and I collect Star Wars postcards. And lo and behold, it's taken a few years, I found a set of postcards for the Star Wars Identities exhibit. And it's 8 postcards, and it was the 8 posters, some of which were depicted within the book that I bought. And also I'd seen the posters, and that was how I'd found out about the exhibit, and that was how I'd ended up buying tickets to go along. I'm delighted to finally get these, but I now have a little bit of an issue about what to do now, because this is an original sealed pack, but I want to see the postcards. But I do really like sealed unopened items, and this has a sticker here going over the seal, so if I open this up, it's going to damage that seal. And I'm amazed to see that this was only £6 a pack. So that was a little over £1 a card, but I would have happily have paid that back then if I could have got them. But what amazed me even more was it only cost me £9 to buy like this, which the reason why I hadn't bought them at the time was there was none at the show, and I had gone onto eBay and they were many pounds a card. Full sets like this, which were occasionally being sold for 50, 60, 65 pounds, and I wasn't going to pay that then, but I hadn't seen any for years and years, so this one came a little bit out the blue, and at £9 I bought it there and then. I didn't make an offer, I just immediately paid the £9 because I was so pleased to see it and to finally be able to get hold of them, and I wasn't going to allow anyone else the opportunity while I was making an offer. So they came my way. Now, do I open it? I think for once, and this is unusual for me, most of my stuff like this, when I buy it sealed, remains sealed, or I buy 2 so that I can open one and play and look and do all the rest of it and have a sealed one. But I don't think I'm going to have to open it. I can't not see the postcards for this one because I've waited a long time to see these, and I would probably have bought 2 if I'd been able to buy them at the event. But these are so nice. They are Star Wars Identities, the exhibition. So you have, as here, Darth Vader. And this is what's the name of that ink block test thing where they hold up the ink blocks and you're supposed to tell the psychiatrist what you've seen. I think if we all saw that one, we wouldn't be at all doubtful as to that being Darth Vader. And this is the Dagobah, was the planet that Yoda was on when Luke Skywalker visited him, if my memory of Star Wars is correct. So you have Yoda made up almost of Dagobah-like greenery. That's a nice one, I like that one. This is Queen Amidala, and around the edge, you have the courtyard of the Naboo main temple-like building, and in her hair and around her neck are spacecraft, including the Naboo fighter. They're very cleverly constructed pieces of art, and as I say, these were the actual posters that were placed around and put on telly and bits like that to get people to come and visit the exhibit. So, as I say, it certainly worked with me. I thought the posters were fantastic. That's the Stormtrooper, and as you can see, if I get that closer into you, lots of little Stormtroopers making up that face. This one is Boba Fett, and it looks like pieces of his uniform. I think that would be right, pieces of his uniform. But very cleverly done. I do like these, and it was a very popular exhibition. It was pretty much sold out. I know that I applied for tickets quite early, but it wasn't until June that I could go, and it had been running for quite a while, which was why some of the souvenirs had sold out. I'm a huge fan of the original Star Wars film, and I particularly like Return of the Jedi, although I will accept that as a technical film, The Empire Strikes Back is probably the better film. But for me, I love Return of the Jedi, and I love the first one. But my all-time favourite Star Wars character, even though he only appeared for a very brief time really, is Darth Maul. And there's a Darth Maul one there, made up of Darth Mauls, all around the bottom there. And here you have the last one, and this one is made up of swirls and little bits and pieces of gold in different letters. And obviously C-3PO spoke all these different languages. Oh, that's another nice one. And that was one of the posters that I do remember seeing. This one and the Stormtrooper one and the Darth Vader one were the ones that drew me to the exhibit. That is a superb set of postcards. I think £9 was a bargain, and I think I've done very well to get that for that price. Only slightly over £1 a card, and that's not bad, especially as you got the original packaging as well, which I do like items like this. I think the packaging is sometimes harder to get hold of than the postcards, certainly with the longer period from issue to you trying to obtain them. The longer the time, the harder it is to get the original one. So I have my print, have my book, I've sat back, and now, having gone in 2017 and thoroughly enjoyed myself at the exhibit, I now also have the postcards as a further memento of my day out. Really pleased with those. I will put images of the postcards in the postcard gallery, as we always do at the end of this. I will do more Star Wars postcards and Star Wars postcard material as we do more and more of these. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one. As always, I'll see you at the next one.
Postcards from Mars, they hit my door. Tiny aliens asking for more. Writing comments like a cosmic tour. I found stardust scattered on